Captain's log. While exploring an uncharted star system in the Deneb sector, we received what we think is a message from a distress beacon on Onias 2. We're en route to investigate.
Onias 2, a Class M planet in a system consisting of 3 unformed planets. Because of the high level of micrometeorite activity in the system, it is unusual for a Class M planet to exist. The planet is not inhabited and is not scheduled for colonization.
I advise referring to the star map and setting a course for the Onias system, Captain.
Approaching Onias 2, Captain.
It may be nothing, Captain, but a scan of the planet's atmosphere indicates a high concentration of rare gases trapped in the planet's magnetosphere. Atmospheric disturbances could produce random radio waves.
It wouldn't be the first time, Mr. Spock, but we'll never be able to tell if we don't check it out. After all, to seek out new life and new civilizations is our mission, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
A split infinitive, Captain.
What?
The proper grammatical expression is to go boldly where no man has gone before.
Somehow, I think it loses a little in the translation.
We are too far from the planet for a detailed sensor probe, Captain.
Entering standard orbit.
Fascinating, Captain. Sensors indicate only 2 faint life forms. It is difficult to distinguish, given the discharges in the planet's magnetosphere. It is, however, safe to transport to the planet's surface.
Captain, our sensors will not be particularly useful to you while you're down there, and communications may be erratic, sir.
We'll be fine, Lieutenant. What reason is there to worry?
I'm afraid, Captain, there are plenty of precedents. We'll be here if you need us.
I have no doubt of that.
I have tracked the signal to its source. It is near the life forms. The rest of the planet is quite desolate. No sign of life or technology. The atmosphere is thin, but breathable, and I detect numerous micrometeorite hits.
There are 3 unformed planets in this system. It's no wonder. There are so many micrometeorites. I'm surprised any Class M planet hasn't been pulverized by now.
It is not inconceivable, but it is certainly unusual.
Let's do it, Spock. You, McCoy, and I. Oh, and tell Bones to see if a genetic specialist's available. If there are only 2 life forms, we might be privileged to see life at its earliest stages.
Seems to me as if we've landed on a skeleton after the vultures have picked it clean.
A fascinating analogy, Doctor. Captain, the locus of the distress signal is in that building.
I think the doctor is right. Anything good here died a long time ago. It feels creepy to me.
Thank you for that opinion, Mr. Johns. I'll be certain to use creepy in my log entry about this.
The bright yellow bowl of the sky is unremarkable, except in that you see absolutely no clouds or flying creatures at all. This world is arid and rather hard, with alkali dust choking your nostrils. The building, which is old and pitted with micrometeorite strikes, appears ancient, and if built by humanoids, was created for tall individuals. The doorway is unobstructed and appears normal, except that it is taller and slightly more narrow than a terrestrial doorway. This seems pointless. A natural tower of rocks, apparently volcanic, James T. Kirk, as always, appears fit, alert, and ready for the challenges of the universe. Dr. Leonard McCoy appears uneasy on this inhospitable world. Ensign Johns looks around nervously and mutters under his breath. Spock frowns slightly as if distracted by your scrutiny.
A magnificent desolation. Reminds me of a summer I spent on Mars climbing Olympus Mons.
You're kidding, right?
Well, I think I've finally found something I dislike more than having my molecules scrambled. This world.
Bones, stop complaining. There's nothing wrong with this place aside from a little dust.
Forgive me for saying so, sir, but this place is pitiful.
It strikes me as unlikely, Captain, that this world is capable of sustaining the society and culture needed to generate the distress signals we have been receiving from here. A form of granite, Captain, primarily composed of potash feldspar. A form of granite, Captain, primarily composed of potash feldspar. As improbable as it might seem, I am getting multiple life form readings from inside this building.
Well, I have to hand it to whoever built this place. All this equipment looks brand new and in good repair.
Let's hope the Enterprise looks this good when it's this old.
We should be very careful about how we proceed, Captain. I have a strange feeling that evil is lurking nearby.
Evil, Ensign?
Something that wants to imperil our souls, sir. We must avoid that at all costs.
Standard Starfleet phaser, set for stun. Standard Starfleet phaser, set for kill. If not for a thin covering of red dust, you would assume this DNA replicator had just been unboxed and set up. Aside from minor differences in styling, this looks remarkably like a Tellarite 8000 DNA sequencer. A door leading to another room.
This appears to be a patch of rust and dust that has accumulated on the machine's surface.
If not for a thin covering of red dust, you would assume this DNA replicator had just been unboxed and set up. A door leading to another room. A door leading to another room. James T. Kirk, as always, appears fit, alert, and ready for the challenges of the universe. Dr. Leonard McCoy smiles as he is confronted with a familiar environment. Ensign Johns wears his surprise at the surroundings transparently on his face. Spock raises an eyebrow as he surveys the room.
Interesting equipment we have here.
You know, a person could do serious research with a device like this. What an odd piece of equipment to find in a place like this.
I haven't seen equipment like this since I interned on Talara. Such equipment. In such a place.
A DNA synthesizer and replicator. This is one of the most advanced genetics facilities I have ever seen. How unusual.
How so, Spock?
Even visitors to this planet would leave behind a substantial number of artifacts. Sending only a genetics lab does not fit established archaeological patterns. Readings indicate that along with oxidation and dust, there is some organic residue in the crust-like buildup. A unique use of a phaser, but adequate for removing the deposits from the apparatus.
Jim, this isn't funny.
Captain, destroying the equipment will achieve nothing. It is a fully functional genetic replicator, Captain.
I welcome you, otherworlders. I beseech you, save us from that which seeks our destruction.
How fitting for a devil to appear on a world that looks like hell.
Enough of that, Mr. Johns. This is just another xenobiological entity.
Correction, Doctor. This is a projection of a xenobiological entity.
Jim, the only life form readings are within that machine behind the portal. Single-cell organisms with an extremely high reproductive rate, but a very poor metabolism and an extremely short lifespan.
A large dry room. The huge ancient stones remind you of the buildings in Machu Picchu, Peru. Whoever built this, built it to last. A large alien computer. The thick glass window and the light coming from it make it difficult to see beyond it, though you get the impression of a living plasma swirling behind it. A large alien computer. James T. Kirk scrutinizes the room, his thoughts rushing along at breakneck pace. Spock's face betrays no emotions. Dr. Leonard McCoy looks intrigued by this new area to explore. Ensign Johns appears horrified by the apparition that manifests in this room. The monstrous projection towers over you with viscous bodily fluids oozing from sores and coagulating in long, putrid streamers. In its swollen, pus-ridden, piggish eyes, you see fear mixed with cunning.
I can't say that I'll nominate this place for viewing in the Federation's architectural archives.
This machine is a genetic bank, Captain. I suspect that the projection acts as a fail-safe mechanism that will surrender samples of the genetic code for sequencing and replication when the mechanism is willing.
This place feels evil, sir. I hope we don't have to stay here very long.
How come I always come to the barren planets, Jim?
Greetings, I am James T. Kirk of the USS Enterprise. What can we do for you? So, when do the wicked witches and goblins show up? Your emergency beacon and statement lead me to believe you see more of an emergency than exists here. Greetings, I am James T. Kirk of the USS Enterprise. What can we do for you?
I am Visner of the Alphan people. Our race possessed this world and thrived here until the invasion by the forces of light. We are locked in a death struggle with them, for they desire our destruction. Do you aid them?
No, we do not aid them. Wars and destruction are not things we value, Visner. Our prime directive prevents us from interfering in internal struggles. But at the request of all parties, we might negotiate a compromise. Forgive me, but I find that claim insupportable. This world, while grim, hardly looks like a battleground. Who is trying to destroy it? Wars and destruction are not things we value, Visner.
You open yourself to confusion in speaking with Azra, but it is understandable that you want to hear his side before acting. My assessment of you suggests that most of you will fight the clouding of logic and will see through Azra's deception. Please report to me your success.
Nothing unusual about that object, Captain. Energy levels behind this glass are more than sufficient for having powered the distress signal we received.